Welcome to Talking Live. I'm Dr. Robi Ludwig, and we have CEO and co-founder Chris Vance of Playground Sessions. He's going to tell us all about his exciting new app and what he's been working on with some very impressive people. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Tell me a little bit about Playground Sessions. It's a fascinating idea. How did you come up with it?
Yeah, so Playground Sessions is we're a technology company that created a learning app to teach people how to play the piano all around the world. And like so many entrepreneurs, I kind of selfishly was solving my own problem. It's pretty incredible, but 90% of keyboards and guitars are under the bed or in the closet within 30 days. So that doesn't surprise many people when you hear it. Right, but if you're like me and so many people have this desire, to express themselves and to play instruments and all of these things, it's actually 85% of people around the world, right? Doesn't matter what part of the world you're in, what continent or even what country, 85% of people, if asked a question, would you like to play a musical instrument, will say yes. So I was like, this is crazy. There's such a strong desire, 85%, yet 90% fail, right? So Playground Sessions is a company that I started with Quincy Jones, right, to use technology, modern ways of learning, so much that you can do right now to provide an app experience where people can learn in the comfort of their own home. So think of Playground Sessions like a language learning app, right? When we were initially building the app, a lot of people considered us like the Rosetta Stone for music.
Do you think that a keyboard ends up under the bed, almost like a workout bike sometimes that people use for clothes? Why do you think that is? Do you think it's harder than people imagine, or they need some type of external motivation, which I know you've included some pretty powerful people like Harry Connick Jr. to be a teacher, and he's so warm and engaging.
Love him. Yeah, Harry's the best. So Harry's one of our partners that last year became one of the primary teachers in the app. So if you love Harry, you can learn how to play the piano with Harry Connick. But I think there's a few things. I just think the way music has been taught for so long, especially the piano, has been with this thought that the students were going to become professional musicians. Right. So they made it really hard and kind of strenuous and really not that fun. We spent a lot of time trying to understand just the education. I come from a family of educators, so I'm very much into like the education side of this. And I think the big mistake in traditional approach to learning the piano is like, we're going to teach you all the rules. Mm-hmm. And then later on, we'll show you what those rules have given you with the potential to, really make a career out of this. And I just don't think that works, for most people that will not become professionals, but can still get a lot of joy. So we've kind of learned to play, flipped it around entirely and made the methodology play to learn, right? So it's actually play to learn methodology will get you playing right away. And then the great thing is, educators will tell you is when people become passionate about a subject, right? And it's very easy to become passionate about learning music once you start to play and you start to feel all these things, and then your mind immediately says, how does all this work? And that's where the learning comes. So we just took learn to play, flipped it around, play to learn, provided some instant gratification, made sure the biggest reward was the music itself. And then we allow people to kind of go in and discover some of the foundations and music theory related to everything.
I was listening to an interview that you gave, and you said, really, this app is designed for beginners. And you really put that practice into play when you had or created a large visual piano recital from people around the world. Over 52 countries were involved. How did you get this idea? You worked with Quincy Jones, and then you also worked with Hal Leonard as well.
Yeah, so Hal Leonard is the biggest music publications company in the world, and in addition to Quincy, who we all know is a music legend, most Grammy-nominated artist of all time, and just an incredible human being. But we also partnered with the piano guys, right, who are just tremendous, musicians and cello player and piano player that are kind of known around the world. But we wanted to show up for our users. So Playground Sessions is a company that is kind of global very much by its nature. Music is really taught, expressed, felt the same way universally, right? So our app can be downloaded anywhere. And, you know, this is actually the 35th anniversary, 35th year anniversary of We Are the World. So we always know the impact of We Are the World and what a great initiative that was. And that was, you know, produced by Quincy Jones. So kind of working with Q and his team, we said, what can we do today? You know, we all know that music's the great healer. Right. We know that music can stand above politics and just everything going on. So we kind of came up with this concept where let's just show up for our users and invite anyone around the world. Right. So we partnered with Hal Leonard and said, let's just create this online course, 30-day course. We'll teach everyone a song and let's see what's happened. And you know, Hal Leonard suggested the song You Raise Me Up. Right. Which is a wonderful song, you know, kind of made famous by Brendan Graham, but Brendan Graham's the songwriter who got involved, but the song became very popular when it was sung by the artist Josh Groban, which we all remember. But just, it's an international song. Yeah, he's wonderful. Has so much meaning, and we thought it was a beautiful song, and we just wanted to be there. And what happened was, as we were kind of concepting the idea, we weren't sure it was going to work. But we said, wouldn't it be amazing, you know, during the quarantine when people physically couldn't be together, if they could learn this song kind of using kind of different community angles that we have in the platform, and then we can create a recital where if people submitted at the end of the course, they just submitted a video of their performance, right, of the part of the song, then we'll kind of, you know, look at putting all that together, and it just blew us away. We had over 7,000 people learn the song. From 52 countries, and, you know, 925 video submissions for this recital showed up. We were like, oh my God, how are we going to edit this? And it kind of blew us away. And it just shows you the strength of music, and sometimes good ideas are just good ideas.
And we're also showing our audience the beautiful video compilation that we put together. And also Quincy Jones had a few statements to say about this fantastic project that he worked with you on.
Playground is a great tool for anyone who's looking to learn the piano or keyboard from the comfort of their own home. It's easy and totally personal, and it makes learning as much fun as playing. So have fun, enjoy the music, and check out Playground Sessions.
Where are we at right now, Chris? What can people learn when they buy your app? And we're going to have a link so everybody can learn more about you and the app and what it can do. And what's really so wonderful is you're absolutely right. Music is a universal language that unites us. It also tends to be the backdrop of our lives. When we think about it, music can bring us back to a moment in time that brings us tremendous pleasure. And right now, the world really needs healing. What can people get when they try your app? And it really is for beginners, as you stated.
Yeah, it's absolutely, you know, I was one of the people that bought the keyboard and tried. I went to YouTube, did all these different things, even tried a couple of private lessons. And this was later in life when I was, 30. And that ended up, under the bed like so many. So I think music has so many benefits, right? And I would start by saying, right now, it's just a tough time for everybody. People are home, kids can't go to school. You can definitely lean on music in a much more rich and deep way than you do kind of as a passive listener. It's like dancing and singing kind of like on steroids when you start to piece it all together. And that's because music powerful. Learning, developing a skill, right, is just extraordinary. So the combination of these two things, the only thing you have to do at Playground Sessions is show up. That's the only requirement. If you show up 10 minutes a day, an hour a week, you're going to find value, right? You're going to progress. You're going to have a lot of fun, and it's going to end up becoming a very meaningful part of your day, your week, your month, your year, and eventually your lifetime.
So how are your piano skills? I can tell you about mine. I had a piano teacher when I was younger. This is a true story. She was older in years and forgetful, and I took advantage of that and didn't practice any new songs, and I would play the same old song over and over again. So my piano lessons didn't get me too far.
Well, again, I think that's like so many. You get into one song, and for the rest of your life, you kind of go back to that one song. But I'm sure you wish you had a larger repertoire. There's so much music.
Absolutely.
So many great things. Yeah, Playground, you can learn all of your favorites, you know, and the way we teach the music theory, whether or not you want to read music or learn by ear, it's always within the context of the best that's out there, whether or not it's Elton John, the Beatles, Mozart, Beethoven, Taylor Swift, John Legend, we have it all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think it's, my piano skills are quite good now. I remember when I first met with Quincy Jones, my music team's like, you can't meet with Quincy, you don't play. Like, that's the whole point. He's going to understand like who we're going after. But I certainly have learned and progressed, and all of my learning comes from Playground sessions. I now have a grand piano, in my apartment, which I play. But the great thing about Playground is, we're partners with Yamaha, Casio. We actually designed our own Playground sessions, PG 150 keyboard. So don't think that you have to have a keyboard in the house. You can go to playgroundsessions.com. You can get the subscription bundled with a new keyboard. Right, everything you have, as long as you have everything you need, as long as you have a computer or an iPad, you're going to be off and running, and very affordable. I think that some of the price points that include a keyboard are, I think, even less than $150. Right, so we make it affordable and accessible for you to learn to play.
So, and one of the things that makes what Playground so unique too is that you give feedback to the people who take these classes. So after they try, I guess, a new song, they get rated at the end until they can achieve the level that they're supposed to achieve.
Absolutely. I mean, I can go on and on, trust me, about all the different features and benefits of Playground. But yeah, that is absolutely one of the things, that we addressed. One of the greatest things about a private lesson is kind of that instant feedback. But you're only with that teacher once a week, right? And all the practice is very isolating. So we address isolation, how to be more social. And one of the great features with the technology, very advanced technology, is you get instant feedback. So if you play a note right, right away it will turn green. If it's wrong, if it's red. If it's close, it's pink. And then you get accuracy score, progress charts, milestones to chase down. And I'm always a little bit, I never really bring that, although it's a core feature, right? It does make learning much faster. Right, and easier, which are two big problems, right? People find it hard and it takes too long. But I always say, like, the biggest reward is the music, right? And really what we want people to know is, if whether or not you tried when you were younger in life or you've never tried it, with the technology and new approaches to education, it's so much more accessible, joyous, than it's ever been. And I think that's what the recital shows. It's so many people not only try it out, but have success, right? Yeah. And I think being part of that, You Raise Me Up global piano recital is one of the major things that they'll take away from the pandemic, as a super positive. And that's what we're trying to spread.
And you've done that so successfully. We are going to direct people to your website so they can learn all about your new app. And congratulations for creating something so powerful and important for us. And I know many people are hoping to come out of this quarantine better than they were when they did it. And you give us an opportunity to do that. Thank you so much.
That's the whole goal. Thank you so much. I appreciate the time.